Welcome to Lowcountry Lowdown. I'm Lindsay Hausman. This week is National Safe Boating Week. Recognized annually, it's an opportunity to remind boaters to brush up on boating safety skills and prepare for the boating season. As a coastal community, we have a lot of residents and visitors alike who enjoy boating our waterways. So if you're out on the water, you'll likely see a member of our Marine Patrol unit, especially this coming holiday weekend. Our Marine Patrol deputies are patrolling to ensure the safety of all out on the water.
Mostly what I'm looking for is just safety issues, people, waking docks or not slowing down for bridges, bow riding, because that's awful and, definitely somebody can get hurt, killed. So basically people just, it's more of like breaking the law kind of stuff.
Ahead of hitting the water, please keep the following in mind. You want to inspect your boat. This includes the amount of fuel you have, a charged battery, and the must-have items on your boat. Oh, and don't forget your plug. For items you kind of need the personal floating devices, also known as life jackets, a whistle, fire extinguisher. You'll also need a throwable flotation device. When it comes to other items, you'll want to keep visual signaling devices with you, items like flares or flashlights, and any other device that can be used to alert others should you find yourself in need. It's also a great idea to keep a first aid kit on hand. Also, there are different types of vessels out on our waterways, not just boats, kayaks too, and both need to look out for each other.
Both to be cognizant of each other, because I think the kayakers think the boats are looking out for them, and I think the boaters are thinking the kayaks are paying attention, and sometimes they're not on the same page, and that can be chaos. So just keep an eye out for each other. And obviously, for the boats, they're they're under power, and they don't have to worry about fighting currents and stuff. So they got to be a little more looking out for the bigger picture besides just them, and looking out for the guy in the kayak that can get injured and get hurt very simply and easily just by getting waked.
If you're new to boating or our area, we encourage you to take the Boater Education course offered by the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources. There's two options available: an in-person class or online self-study course. You can visit dnr.sc.gov to learn more. Memorial Day weekend, known as the unofficial kickoff to the summer, we just covered some safety information for those planning to be out on the water this holiday weekend. Here are some safety tips for those hitting the road or staying at home. If you're planning on traveling, make sure your vehicle is in top working condition. This means making sure you check your tire pressure and fill your tank prior to hitting the road. Make sure to plan your drive ahead of time and choose the best routes. Always keep an eye on the weather forecast and plan ahead. Of course, allow plenty of time for your travel and always wear a seatbelt. And if you haven't already, it's a great time to download the Everbridge app on your phone or tablet, also known as Nixle. This is a great way for you to receive traffic alerts that may impact you in Beaufort County. As always, if you plan on drinking alcohol, make sure you have a designated driver. It's never okay to drive a vehicle or a boat while under the influence. Aside from being illegal, it's dangerous for you and those around you. A traffic alert to share for Memorial Day. The Memorial Day parade in Beaufort will cause some street closures. From 9 to noon, you can expect the parade route to be closed. That's Boundary to Carteret Street to Bay and then Bladen Street. If you're not spectating, please avoid the area if possible. And of course, lastly, we wish you and your family a very safe Memorial Day weekend. Luis Matei Zavala is in custody, charged with criminal sexual conduct with a minor first degree and criminal sexual conduct with a minor third degree. Over the weekend, deputies were called to an area hospital for the report of a sexual assault. Through their investigation, it was determined that Matei Zavala sexually assaulted two young girls under the age of 10 at a home in Pritchardville. Investigators are still looking for 47-year-old Ernest James Wright II of Burton. He's wanted on an arrest warrant for criminal sexual conduct with a minor first degree. If you know where he may be, please call Sergeant Tunis. You can do so at 843-255-3426 or Crime Stoppers of the Lowcountry at 843-554-1111 if wishing to remain anonymous. 37-year-old Jamie Bradley Brunn remains in custody awaiting a bond hearing, which has been deferred to General Sessions Court. In the early morning hours on Friday, May 19th, deputies were called to her St. Helena Island home. Once there, they found her 6-year-old who was dead. Through the investigation, it was learned that Bradley Brunn likely drowned her 6-year-old and attempted to do the same with her 8-year-old. The oldest child, who was 16 years old, was able to intervene and get the middle child to safety while calling 911. Bradley Brunn faces 2 charges, murder and attempted murder. Damian Duran Franco remains in custody, charged with trafficking methamphetamine. At about 2:15 on Sunday morning, deputies were conducting a foot patrol of businesses in Okatee when they noticed a car running in the rear parking lot. When they went to investigate, they found Duran Franco with a plastic bag containing what appeared to be illegal narcotics. Sergeant Toomey and his partner K9 Nico were called in and positively alerted to illegal narcotics in the vehicle. Duran Franco was arrested and transported to the Beaufort County Detention Center. On Monday, Master Sergeant Danny Allen gave a presentation to members of the Marine Corps Air Station Beaufort. The presentation included information on alcohol, illegal narcotics, traffic information, and just overall the details that our servicemen and women need to know in order to stay safe. This is just one of many groups our agency presents safety information to.
So we were able to put that great presentation together for them, and we had about 200 Marines that came together and were given that presentation by us. We do that presentation, we'll do that presentation or other presentations for anyone who asks. We've done it for our naval hospital, our schools, churches, businesses, even just organizations, or even just a neighborhood. We can do that presentation, we can do any type of presentation for any group, as long as it's law enforcement related.
If you're interested in having a member of the Sheriff's Office speak to your group or organization, visit our website, bcso.net, click on the Crime Prevention tab, and then request a speaker. May 21st through the 27th is the 49th Annual National EMS Week. In 1974, President Gerald Ford authorized EMS Week to celebrate EMS practitioners and the important work they do in our nation's community. On behalf of all of us here at the Sheriff's Office, we say thank you to the men and women of the Beaufort County Emergency Medical Services and Hilton Head Island Fire Rescue. Please join us in congratulating Sergeant Jason Prusanowski, Sergeant Matthew Aaron, and Lance Corporal Christopher Partridge on being recognized for their meritorious service. Sheriff P.J. Tanner awarded Sergeant Prusanowski with the Blue Star Medal. This honor is awarded to a deputy who is injured while making an arrest or protecting another. In July of 2021, Sergeant Prusanowski was injured while arresting a fleeing suspect. Sheriff Tanner awarded Sergeant Aaron with a Certificate of Merit. Sergeant Aaron self-initiated a review of historical procedures and submitted a proposal to leadership that ultimately changed operating procedures. And the not pictured is Lance Corporal Partridge. Sheriff Tanner awarded him with the Life Saving Award. This honor is awarded to personnel who physically rescue and ultimately save the life of another. In February of this year, Lance Corporal Partridge responded to a call where a man had attempted suicide. His quick action prevented the man's death. Also, we're pleased to announce this year's Higher Education Scholarship recipients: Blake Seifert, Thomas Purdy, Liliana Hansen, Gary Hansen Jr., Elizabeth Light, and Anthony Hill. Each year, we host 2 golf tournaments to raise money for Sheriff's Office initiatives, to include appreciation events for staff and scholarships for students of staff. This year, students submitted an application which included 2 parts, a description of their community involvement, as well as an essay describing their ideal career path and how this scholarship would help them reach their goals. A group of community members collectively came together to choose the recipients of the scholarship. We're a week away from the start of the Atlantic hurricane season, starting June 1st. Now is the time to make sure you're prepared in the event a tropical system should head our way. We've made it easy for you to find resources as they relate to preparedness and evacuation information for Beaufort County. Check out the Storm Center on our website, bcso.net. And be sure to connect with us on all of our digital and social media platforms. Great way to stay engaged and stay in the know with us here at the Sheriff's Office. And of course, if you have any questions about our digital and social media platforms, you feel free to reach out. You can email me, lindsay.hausman@bcgov.net. As always, hope you found this episode of Lowcountry Lowdown beneficial and informative. See you next week. Stay safe.